Hi everyone, this is Lena from Trading Edge. Let's crack on with the forecast for the week ahead. Today is the 2nd of November 2024. I'm recording this video at 14:47 UTC time, and this is what the chart looks right now. So to remind you, to those of you who are following me on Twitter, I posted a fractal. I posted 2 fractals recently, and as you can see, this is the fractal that we're following right now. That was my date for the top. The top happened a day before that. It was the 29th of October when we had the Bitcoin top, and now we are sliding down towards a bottom on the 3rd of November. Why do I expect a red closure on November and making a bottom? The reason for this is several confluences. So confluence number 1, Mercury in Sagittarius ingress, which happens today, this evening, has 71% red closures historically. And the second confluence is the aspect that is happening tomorrow on the 3rd of November 2024. The most prominent aspect that is taking place is Mars opposition Pluto on 29 degrees. Mars on 29 degrees of Cancer and Pluto on 29 degrees of Capricorn, and this has 71% red closures historically. Okay. So, given that we have these 2 confluences, I have made the forecast that we should be closing on a red tomorrow, the 3rd of November, and this fractal that I posted is confluence number 3, in the sense that if we count the same number of days, so if that is the 30th of October, that will be the 31st, then the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. So you need to understand that I haven't looked for a fractal out there that matches 3rd of November to be a bottom, and I'll say then, oh yeah, this fractal is what we're following right now. This fractal is completely independent. It is following my Chinese cycle. Those of you who have my Chinese astrology package, you know what the Chinese cycle involves. So this is actually the Chinese astrology cycle. And for that reason, the 3rd of November is confluence number 3, being a bottom. Right, so that's the daily time frame forecast for tomorrow, and now let's move on for a weekly time frame forecast. So today is the 2nd of November. This is where I expect us that we are. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the closure of this week starting today is 7 days from now, which would be 9th of November, right? This candle coincides with 9th of November. Right, that's according to the fractal. The previous fractal that we were following, it was working for about 3 weeks, and only after that it diverged. So that's how it goes with those fractals. They cannot take us all the way to repeat the whole price movement all the way, but they do take us along the way for some time. So what is this fractal showing is that we are heading for a dump and pump situation taking place tomorrow, the 3rd of November. And let's see if we have any confluences for that. Okay, so let's have a look. Mercury in Sagittarius cycle. It is entering today, not tomorrow. 1 second, let me just correct that. It's entering today, this evening at 17:52 UTC. So what does it show in the first week? And by the way, these weekly time frames are dependent on the cycle. They begin from the day of the ingress. And then you count 7, and that's how the 10th of November is the closure of week 1. Then the 17th of November is the closure of week 2. So you need to be aware that when I'm making a weekly time frame forecast, it's not Monday to Friday as normally. It's not Friday to Friday as normally we do on the Bitcoin market. And some people refuse to use that anyway. Some people count it from Monday to Sunday. But I believe the accurate calculation of weekly time frames is from Sunday to Friday, because that is how the working hours are of the CME. So, first week of Mercury in Sagittarius kicking off today, later on this evening, historically has presented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dumps, which is quite a lot. Out of 14, 5 dump and pump situations. 1 pump and dump, 1, 2, 3, 4 straightforward dumps, and 1, 2, 3, 4 neutral, the same price, maintain the same price. So that is a nice little confluence that given the majority here of dump and pump, 1, 2, so we say the other ones are 4 neutral, 1, 2, 3, 4 neutral, 4 straight down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight down, I beg your pardon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight down, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dump and pump. So the straight down is competing with the dump and pump for this week in terms of historical probabilities. The closure of the week is a separate matter. We have 50% probability, therefore not significant, and therefore we cannot actually make a forecast using this cycle on how the week will close. So the only forecast we can make from this week is to expect either straightforward dump for the whole week, or a dump and pump taking place in this week. When a dump hasn't happened in the first week, when a dump and pump hasn't happened in the first week, we have had a dump for the 7 days, and then it goes up after that. So it prolongs a little bit with a couple of days, and then it pumps in the following week. So yes, a lot of volatility is expected in the coming week. In terms of possibility of an up move, we have 1, 2, only 3 first weeks of Mercury in Sagittarius have produced an upward move. Is it possible to have that this year? Yes, it is possible, but the historical probability is not on the side of a green week. The historical probability is on the side either of a red week ahead or a dump and pump. Right, so that is only one cycle. We need to check what the other cycles are showing, because we are always looking for confluences. So we have Mars is entering Leo on the 5th of November, 3 days later than Mercury in Sagittarius. And this is what we're getting for Mars in Leo. The first week features pump and dump, and it has 57% probability of a green closure. What is the common between this cycle and the Mercury in Sagittarius cycle is that both of these placements are volatile, so both of them confirm volatility and drama. Mars in Leo is dramatic, On back testing, look at that, lots of bottoms here. We see lots of pumps and dumps for the whole duration of Mars in Leo. Lots of drama. And Mercury in Sagittarius is dramatic for different reasons. Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius. Mercury doesn't like Sagittarius because Mercury looks after the small picture, Mercury looks after the details, the technical acumen is what Mercury is the specialist of. He holds the technical acumen, but as it goes, these are completely different skills. The technical acumen on one side and then looking at the global picture and seeing how everything works together. That is a completely different skill, completely different mindset, and that is the area of specialism of Sagittarius. So they're completely opposite energies. Quite typical, if you imagine a company, and in the company you have the chief executive who is always looking at the big picture, and then he has the technical people telling them we can't do this, we can't do that. They're always conflicting, those two types of mindsets. They always work at a conflict with each other. Very rarely they're on the same page. So for that reason, when a planet is in a detriment in the opposite sign to what it rules, we expect volatility. That is the theory, right? But I never trust the theory. I always do the back testing to be more sure, never 100% sure, but to kind of give me a fuller picture. And the back testing is confirming the same. The back testing is showing a lot of dumps and pumps and a lot of volatility in the first week. Second week as well, actually. But we'll cover the second week another time. But for the week that is coming now ahead of us, we expect a lot of volatility on both cycles. Mars in Leo entering on the 5th and Mercury in Sagittarius entering tonight. Can we consolidate these different predictions? So Mercury in Sagittarius is saying that we're going to have dump and pump, and Mars in Leo is saying we're going to have pump and dump. Yes, we can consolidate them. How? Well, the dates are slightly different. So first, Mercury in Sagittarius is entering today, so the dump is on the cards for tomorrow. Remember that third confluence here, Mars in Pluto, is tomorrow, with a 71% historical probability of closing on red. So it is possible that this dump and pump gets manifested tomorrow. So Mercury gets his cycle fulfilled historically as in alignment with the historical performance. And then when Mars enters on the 5th, we can get the pump and dump as well. We can have both of these in 1 week. Both of these are very dramatic placements. We're not going to get away with a flat movement in the coming week. We could, everything is possible, but the probability is on the side of a lot of drama in the coming week. And if you notice here, the closing of this week here of Mars in Leo is the 12th of November, suggesting 57% green closure. And the closing week here of Mercury in Sagittarius is 10th of November, suggesting only 50%, nothing really. It's not making a prediction. So that's what we've got in our hands right now. And this is what we can conclude for the coming week, that we will be on our toes. Every day is expected to present a lot of drama. We can always look at other cycles for more confluences. So we can check the Venus in the Venus cycle, what that is showing. So Venus will be in her last week of Sagittarius between the 31st of October and 7th of November. And this is what Venus cycle is showing. So far, Venus cycle was running quite well, actually, in this month. So far, we have 100% accuracy on the Venus in Sagittarius forecast. Both of these closed exactly according to the forecast. So what am I doing? This is not really, that was a 50%. Sorry. I'm getting confused. No, this shouldn't have a tick because the forecast was 50%. I apologize for that. But the second week, it had 64% historical probability of closing on green, and that's it. It nailed it. It closed on a green. So what it says for week number 3, closing on 7th of November, that by 7th of November, the Bitcoin price will be lower than 31st of October. Again, these are different weeks because they're measured from the day of the ingress. So we're not talking about the same week. So 7th of November, right? Today is the 2nd of November. So by 7th of November, Venus in Sagittarius cycle is predicting that the price will be lower than 31st of October. Let's have a look here. So 31st of October, that was one day after the top, right? That is the, okay, so 31st of October, that's the price here. And the 7th of November is expected to be lower. So if we have this situation as the fractal is forecasting, at the moment we're moving along this fractal, so we have no reason to be suspicious about it. We need to wait for an invalidation to become suspicious of it. And so far there hasn't been an invalidation since the 30th of October. The color of the candles is irrelevant. What matters most is the direction. So if that is our 3rd of November here, we count 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So 7th of November, even if the dump and pump is done and dusted, is expected to be lower than the 31st of October, which makes a lot of sense. It's doable. It's completely in alignment with this fractal. And then you remember the other date, the day of the other two cycles. The Mercury cycle is saying that we will have a dump and pump. And then the Leo cycle is saying we'll have pump and dump in the first week. So this is the 5th here. This is the 3rd, right? 3rd of November is this candle. 4th, 5th. So if this is the 5th of November and we have a pump and dump, and then again, that prediction by the Venus cycle is very doable. That the 7th of November will be closing lower than 31st of October. So for now, these are the 3 cycles that I use because the other planets haven't, where they are, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto, where they are now, they haven't been in Bitcoin's life before, so we cannot really use the heavier planet cycles. So that is it from me for today, and we'll see how it plays out. If I have time, I'll put another video next week for the 2nd week forecast of November. Bye for now.